Summer 1940. Europe trembles beneath the boots of Nazi Germany. France has fallen. Crowds cheer in Berlin. To millions of Germans, Adolf Hitler appears unstoppable. A genius, a visionary, a leader blessed with almost supernatural instinct. But behind the carefully crafted image, behind the speeches, the flags, and the endless propaganda, there was another truth. Hitler was not the tireless mastermind history imagined. He avoided paperwork, disliked long discussions, rarely studied detailed reports. He drifted between fantasy and reality, often retreating into isolation. And while the world believed one man ruled Germany alone, a hidden empire of loyal followers worked in his shadow. Men who built the machine of terror. Men who competed for his approval. Men who helped shape the darkest regime in modern history. This is the story of Hitler's inner circle.
Orders seal fates. Prison gates close on the innocent. Maps chart the path of suffering.
The Nazi regime sold Germany a myth. Hitler was portrayed as an all-knowing leader, awake through the night, making decisions for the nation. But reality was different. He depended heavily on a small network of trusted men. Each had a role, each had ambition, each brought something Hitler lacked. Together, they formed the backbone of the Third Reich. The first among Hitler's loyalists was Hermann Göring, a decorated World War I fighter pilot, a national hero, a celebrity in post-war Germany. To Hitler, Göring offered something priceless: prestige. He was charismatic, wealthy, connected to aristocratic circles. But behind the medals hid another man. Greedy, addicted to luxury, obsessed with power. Göring loved excess, expensive art, hunting estates, rare jewels, uniforms covered in medals. He became one of the most powerful figures in Nazi Germany. Minister of Aviation, founder of the Gestapo, commander of the Luftwaffe. Yet beneath his confidence was insecurity. And over time, his addiction to morphine and his hunger for status would slowly destroy him.
Joseph Goebbels was not a soldier. He was a failed writer. Small, physically disabled, deeply insecure. He carried bitterness like a weapon. When he met Hitler, everything changed. Goebbels saw in Hitler not just a leader, but a savior. His devotion bordered on obsession. Hitler sent him to Berlin, a communist stronghold. His mission? Turn the city into Nazi territory. Goebbels understood one thing better than anyone else. Emotion controls people. Fear, anger, pride. He mastered propaganda. Newspapers, radio broadcasts, cinema, mass rallies. He didn't simply spread information. He shaped reality. Under Goebbels, propaganda became a weapon stronger than guns. Unlike Göring and Goebbels, Heinrich Himmler looked ordinary, quiet, reserved, almost forgettable. But behind round glasses and polite manners hide one of history's most dangerous men. Himmler believed in racial purity. He imagined a future Germany ruled only by what he considered a superior race. To achieve it, he created the SS. At first, a small elite guard. Later, a machine of fear. The SS became responsible for surveillance, imprisonment, executions, and genocide. Under Himmler, concentration camps expanded.
And eventually, extermination camps emerged. Cold, organized, industrialized death. Himmler transformed hatred into bureaucracy. Albert Speer entered Hitler's world later. A young architect. Educated. Elegant. Highly intelligent. He understood Hitler's greatest obsession: architecture. Hitler dreamed of building monuments larger than anything in history. Speer turned those dreams into blueprints. Together, they planned massive cities, giant halls, and grand avenues. Speer quickly became Hitler's favorite. Unlike others, he listened carefully. He adapted. He never challenged. And during the war, he rose even higher, becoming Minister of Armaments. Factories multiplied. Weapons production increased. Even as Germany collapsed, Speer kept the war machine alive. But his success came at a terrible cost. Slave labor, underground factories, thousands worked to death. For decades after the war, Speer claimed ignorance. History would later question that claim. Hitler encouraged competition. His inner circle did not trust each other. They fought for influence, for attention, for survival. Goebbels hated Göring. Himmler feared Speer. Each man believed he understood Hitler best, and Hitler enjoyed their rivalries, because divided men could never challenge him. At first, victory came quickly. Poland, France, Norway, the Netherlands. Europe seemed conquered. But then came the Soviet Union, a war too large, too brutal, too costly. Germany began to bleed. Bombs fell across cities. Resources vanished. Defeat approached. Hitler grew isolated. His trusted men began to panic. At Auschwitz, Nazi ideology became reality. Under Himmler's command and Rudolf Höss's management, mass murder became systematic. Trains arrived daily. Families separated. Millions disappeared into gas chambers. Doctors like Joseph Mengele conducted horrific experiments. Children became test subjects. Human beings became numbers. Auschwitz was not chaos. It was organization. Designed, planned, managed. A factory of death. By 1945, Germany was collapsing. Berlin burned. The Allies closed in. Hitler hid underground. One by one, loyalty vanished. Göring tried negotiating. Himmler secretly contacted the Allies. Only Goebbels remained beside Hitler. Hitler encouraged competition. His inner circle did not trust each other. They fought for influence, for attention, for survival. When Hitler committed suicide on April 30th, 1945, the empire ended. Goebbels poisoned his children, then killed himself. Himmler swallowed cyanide. Göring avoided execution through suicide. Speer survived. At Nuremberg, the world confronted the architects of evil. For the first time in history, leaders were judged for crimes against humanity. Some denied responsibility. Some blamed obedience. Some claimed ignorance. But the evidence spoke louder. The camps, the documents, the survivors. The myth collapsed. Hitler did not rule alone. He was surrounded by believers, careerists, fanatics, opportunists, men who competed for power, men who shaped a dictatorship, men whose choices changed history forever. Their buildings crumble, their symbols fade, but their story remains a warning. because evil rarely rises alone. It grows through loyalty, through silence, through ambition.
The ruins whisper of history's unheeded warnings. Leaders fade into the shadows of consequence. A storm gathers over what remains.